Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Lee Johnson, just in case you weren't quite sure who I was and why you were here. Alright, so here I talk about magic, mysticism, witchcraft, the occult, demonology, etc, etc. So if you are interested in those topics, stick around and hopefully I can help with something. Today we are going to have a look at this idea of being cursed and whether you actually are cursed or not, and what signs to look out for, how to determine these things, and what not to do. Okay, let's get into that. I'm Lee W. Johnson. Don't forget to subscribe or get more on Patreon. Alright, so this idea of being cursed, this is actually going to fall under the aspect of protective magic. And I think you'll understand why I'm saying that just now. So, are you cursed? There's a few things you can do to determine that to begin with. Firstly, did somebody tell you you have been cursed? Okay. Are you assuming that somebody has cursed you? If you are assuming that someone's cursed you because they looked at you funny or because they said they are a dark or black magician, they didn't necessarily say they've cursed you, but you've assumed it because they may have looked at you a bit funny. In that case, have you done divination? That's really the first place to go. Go to your pendulum, go to your tarot card, if you need to go to somebody else to find out, just make sure it's a trusted person and not just some random, Tom, Dick or Harry off the internet that you've never been to a reading before. Make sure it's a trusted person that you know is worth their salt. Because you don't want to get false information here. And quite often what happens in situations where you go to a diviner that you've never met before, they're usually good marketers, and that's why you find them so easily. And what often happens is, especially if you go to them and say, please can you find out if I have been cursed, they are going to immediately, they're going to do all their stuff and have a look at their cards or crystal ball or whatever they're doing, and their answer is going to be yes, you are. And the reason for that is because then the next step is they're going to charge you to remove this curse. Okay, and they're probably going to charge you a fortune for doing it. But they have created the scenario where you are cursed, and you may not be. This is the problem. All right, so have you been told you've been cursed? Have you assumed you've been cursed? Have you been told by the person directly or by a diviner? Okay, so whichever way that actually comes through. But check. You really, really need to check. And the reason for this is that you may not be cursed. Okay. Quite often what happens is we create the scenarios in our own mind. And we are powerful beings, whether we want to believe it or not. And, if you've been doing your foundational work, if you've done your protection work, if you keep doing your cleansing and, your shielding and whatever it may be, then you usually don't have anything to worry about unless the person is really, really strong. And this becomes, a case of whose will is stronger. Now, if you believe that their will is stronger, they're going to win, regardless of whether they actually did anything or not. If you believe that they actually did do a curse, then you are cursed. And they literally don't have to do anything. They really, really don't have to do anything because you do it all yourself. You create the curse yourself because you believe so strongly that this person has cursed you. You create the curse, okay? Right, so bear that in mind. Now, this does not mean that you have not been cursed, okay? It's quite possible. This is why I say come back to divination. But when you have a look at your divination, you're going to have to make sure that it is incredibly trusted. So either you do it yourself, but in a lot of situations, somebody who's doing their own divination will not be able to remove themselves from the situation. So, they're going to get, you're probably going to get an answer of yes, you are, because that's you bringing that own self-fulfilling prophecy through again. All right. So in that case, if you cannot separate yourself enough to get a proper answer, as I said, seek someone out who is trusted. Has to be trusted. You don't want to be taken for a ride and be, immediately be told you have been cursed just so they can charge you to remove that curse when there's nothing actually there in the first place. Of course, on the other side of that coin is the idea that if you may not have been cursed, you may go to a diviner, they say yes, you have been cursed, and you pay them a lot of money to remove that curse. But that again is a psychological thing. It's headology, as Terry Pratchett put it. So what happens is you believe you've been cursed, you go to somebody, you ask them if you've been cursed, they say yes, now you really believe it, that's just reinforced, and the curse just gets worse. And then they remove it, they do something to remove it, and all of a sudden it's gone, because psychologically you've removed it yourself. This is the problem. This is the difficulty with all of this stuff, is that if you believe it strongly enough, it's going to come true. It's going to happen because you are the one manifesting it. We always kind of go, oh, I'm terrible at manifestation. And that's usually because we are trying to manifest good things in our lives. But we tend to kind of be so negative about things, everything, that when we try to get ourselves into this positive mindset and this positive, energy or vibration, then we kind of think about something negative that comes along and it brings us back down again. But then when it comes to manifesting negative things, it's easy as hell. It's the easiest thing to do. And I think when we talk about manifesting things, we usually kind of consider when we are manifesting good things, positive things, things we want in our life. But really, the idea of manifestation goes both ways. It's not positive or negative, or good or bad. If you're going to manifest something, it can be anything. And this is what happens. We believe something so much that we tend to start manifesting it into our lives. And what usually happens is we will have something happen, just something small. It could be, maybe we bumped our arm. I do it all the time, and I've got bruises to prove it. I bumped my arm, and I don't even realize I've done it. Walking past the door, and you're just thinking about something, you bump your arm, and all of a sudden, a couple of days later, you have a look, and you've got a bruise. Where the hell did this bruise come from? You don't remember bumping yourself. That person looked at me strangely. They looked at me funny, and they told me that they are a black magician. And, therefore they've probably cursed me because now I've got this bruise that just appeared out of nowhere. Or it may be that, you suddenly choked on something, and then the idea pops into your head instantly. There was that person. I've been cursed. And then what happens is you start to snowball it. It goes from you choked on something, or you had a bruise, to now I'm not feeling so good. My energy's drained. They're obviously draining my energy, and now I'm starting to feel sick because of this energy drain. Now just goes on and on and on until eventually, practically every hour of the day something is happening, because it's not just that you are manifesting the things, you're also starting to notice it more. You may be standing on the side of the road and a car just flies by. Normally it wouldn't matter, but all of a sudden it's too close. It got too close. That was very close. It could have killed me. Because you start noticing these things because you believe so strongly that you have been cursed. So I think I've gotten that point across. If you have been cursed, and this doesn't mean you haven't been cursed, you have been cursed, but you've been cursed by yourself. Remember that part. So if you start doing a divination and you ask the simple question, have I been cursed? And it says yes. Yes, you have been. But it doesn't mean that somebody else has done it. It just could mean that you've done it. So when you're doing your divination, make sure that you get very, very specific about where the curse came from. Did you do it? or did it come from somewhere else, or from someone else? Or is it just a natural cause of life? Maybe the planets are in weird alignment or something like that, and it's just causing all these things to snowball and to keep happening over and over again over a 2 or 3 week period. It could not be anybody, it could not be a curse at all, it could just be nature. So, with your divination, get very, very specific and make sure you've got all the proper answers. So if the answer comes back to yes, you have been cursed, find out who did it or where it came from. Okay, make sure it's not just you manifesting all of this stuff. And there is a good thing you can take from this. If you are doing this, if you have created your own curse, this is a very good indication that you are very good at manifesting things. Take that away from this. So, work on cleansing, getting rid of the curse and everything else, which is usually just changing your mindset, believing in a different way. But also take away the fact that you are a good manifester. So if you actually sit down and do things in a different way, you can manifest some really good things in your life. Remember that. Don't forget that. So let's have a look. First thing to do, if you think you have been cursed, do divination. Okay, even if somebody has directly told you they have cursed you, do divination. Did they curse you? If you get a yes, did it actually take? Did that curse take? Did it actually have any effect directly from that person? Okay, we haven't gotten to you yet. Directly from that person, did that curse actually take? If you get a yes, do your protection, do your cleansing. If you get a no, and you are feeling the effects of the curse, it's probably a sign that you are the one who has manifested the curse itself. That person who did the curse was just some stupid idiot who said they had cursed you, tried to make you believe they are more powerful than them, and just using headology or psychology. Okay, so if you are the one doing the curse, okay, put up your protections and everything else. You're supposed to be doing that anyway, but change your mindset. Change the way you are looking at this completely. Don't look at it as you have been cursed, because you haven't, because that idiot was useless, was so weak, they couldn't get anything through anyway. The fact is, you are the one who did it, therefore you are the strong one. Okay, and because you are the strong one, it's a case of whose will is stronger. Your will's stronger in this case. Okay, therefore don't let that person or yourself actually manifest this stuff in your life, because it's not, just isn't. And that's really it. As I said, I'm going to repeat again, just in case I missed anything and I didn't get very specific. I think I did. But if you think you've been cursed, do your divination. Check if somebody else has cursed you. If they have, check if it actually took or not. If nobody has cursed you, check if you have nobody outside of yourself has cursed you, check if you have cursed yourself. If the answer is yes, then you've got your answer. Then you've got a way of counteracting, doing a counterattack, as it were. If it's somebody else, you can do a return to sender, you can cut cords, you can put up shields, do your cleansing work and all of that stuff. If somebody actually did something to you and it took. If somebody did something to you and nothing happened because it didn't get through because they are too weak to actually do anything, then just put them in a little box, a little mirror box or something, with all the mirrors facing inwards, and all the crap that they are creating and putting out there and trying to actually do will just reflect on them, and they'll learn their own lesson. All right. If, however, it's you have been creating this yourself, change your mindset. Look at it from a different perspective, from a different angle, and understand that you are the stronger person and that you are a good manifester, because you have manifested an entire curse. Very important thing. All right, and I'm going to leave it there. If you've got any questions, because this can actually be a very complicated and big topic, so if you do have any questions about this, please leave them in the comments below. Or if you'd rather ask me directly, get hold of me somehow. I often do miss emails, and I do apologize for that. I get so many different, and a lot of spam as well. It doesn't matter which email it is. I get loads and loads of spam. So sometimes emails get lost amongst all of that. So comments are usually the best, but if you want to make it private, you can DM me on Patreon also, where there is no spam. Okay, so it's probably the best place. DM me on Patreon or on Discord. I'm also on Discord. All right, and yeah, gonna leave it there. As I said, if you've got any questions, just ask and I will address them. All right, and we'll get further into the topic. But this is definitely a topic which falls into protective magic or protection itself, because this really is about countering a curse and therefore protective, and also cleansing stuff. But anyway, okay, and I'll see you next time. Cheers for now. Bye bye.